it's Ahmer here. So today I wanted to talk about some recent additions to my video game collection. Now I decided to go ahead and complete a full set of these awesome Game Boy Color carrying cases. And of course, along the way, I found quite a few others. So let's go ahead and check these things out. So of course, many of you guys remember this right here. This is this awesome Game Boy, the original Game Boy. This would have been a really cool carrying case that you could go ahead and put your Game Boy in. Now, of course, these things are so big and bulky, but you could pretty much put your system in here along with a bunch of games, and it just has this convenient little push tab right here, and then of course you could go ahead and open this thing up. So this is actually really cool, as it has some foam in here, and then of course it has little sections in here where you could go ahead and put a bunch of the games, and then of course the Game Boy itself. So it has like this extra tray in here along with a little carrying strap. So this is actually really awesome because back in the day you would just put your system in there, you could put various games, some of the charger cables and extra peripherals would fit in this awesome case here. But this thing is like so big and bulky. Now they do actually have quite a few of these in different colors. They're a little bit smaller than this, but they kind of represent the Game Boy Pocket. So those ones I'm still trying to find, as it looks like a lot of these are so difficult to find in pretty decent shape. So of course they should have this sticker on the back, and then of course it looks very similar to the original Game Boy. So I really like how it kind of models after that to make it look like this with the cool sticker on here for the screen. We have this little like slits in here for the sound that comes out, and then of course all of the buttons and everything. And then it even tells you right on the side here, Nintendo Game Boy has these little hinges here, and then even this little side piece for the carrying handle, and then of course the back. It looks like very similar to this, and that's where you would put in the original Game Boy game. So this is really cool. And then of course I went down this long search of trying to find some full sets here. So after I get a couple more of the Game Boy Pocket ones and then one of the Game Boy Advance ones, I'll have a full set. But I actually found these as well, and I found most of these on eBay. Then of course I found this one, which started the whole entire set at a local video game store. So these are a much smaller version, and they fit your awesome cool color Game Boy Colors. So this one kind of represents this one. Now of course this is a little bit of a different style, as it looks like they kind of modeled a smaller version of this. So it doesn't really look like it 100%, but of course I see that they changed out the screen so that it does match. Of course these little slits here are actually little dots on the Game Boy Color. And then you do the same thing, so you kind of just open it up. The back has a different sticker on it as well. They're all different models. So then, as you can tell, we have a full color set here for the Game Boy Colors. So of course we have the yellow, we have this lime green, we have this kind of teal blue, and then of course we even have this great purple. So these are definitely some of my favorites in my collection. They just really stand out. They really look great on display, whether you're using them to kind of go around and carry, which you can actually do that. You just have to push in the button that's on the side. And then once you go ahead and open it, you'll see that there is more foam, and then there's also this tray in here, which you can actually put your games here, and then of course your system and everything else. So this is actually a really cool little display piece that I'm going to use it as. Now they are pretty difficult to find, as you would expect. People would put their systems in there, put their games, they would carry these around, they would just kind of throw them around. Of course the handles and the hinges and the corners would get chipped and cracked over time, but to find a complete set in fairly decent shape is pretty amazing. And then of course, as I was doing some more research, I saw that they did a couple different colors for the Game Boy Advance. So here is this one, which of course matches my one handheld, and this is so cool because this one does kind of model right after the Game Boy Advance. Even has the little buttons on the top, and then even the back looks like a little battery cover there. So this one is pretty sweet as well. Now they do actually make them in a couple different colors. So I have seen like a silver style one. And then of course it just has the tray in here. It says Game Boy Advance accessories. It tells you where to put everything at, where you could put the different game packs, more games, and everything else in here. It shows you where to put some of the batteries. So this is actually really cool to find this stuff. So did you guys have any of these back in the day? Do you have any now? Are you trying to go for a full set of any of these? Do you like having these on display in a collection? And which one is your favorite? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And of course, stay tuned for more.